So for bigger companies, they'll have a handbook that should express short-term disability, long-term disability, and your FMLA rights. Not everybody has that. If you're in a smaller company, for example, under 50 employees, you probably don't have FMLA rights. You may not have an employee handbook. Or you may not have the right to a leave of absence legally. But every company allows some degree of a leave of absence. So let's talk about the bigger companies first, because that's more defined by laws. So you're entitled to, with a doctor's certification, you're entitled to submit a doctor's certification that you're, in my words, not fit for duty. That you have a medical condition, whether it's anxiety, whether it's depression, whether it's physical, whether it's related to work or not related to work, which makes you not fit for duty. You have the right to submit that, request an FMLA leave of absence, and get up to a minimum of 12 weeks. Now, many companies go much longer than 12 weeks for short-term disability, or at least a medical leave of absence. They'll go to 6 months, some companies up to 1 year. It's not guaranteed, but look at that employee handbook and determine whether or not what your rights are. By providing the medical certification, that's the first step. Secondly, you need to then, while on a leave of absence, continue to update through medical certification what your status is and to report on your medical status. Now, whether you get paid on a leave of absence is a whole nother story. The company may or may not have a short-term disability or long-term disability leave of absence policy. The FMLA does not speak to whether you get paid or not, only that you're still entitled to maintain your benefits, like health insurance. Whether you get paid or not, you may have what they call, extended PTO. You probably have to use all your paid time off or vacation time first. Then you may be eligible, if there is a stated policy, if and only if there's a stated policy, for short-term leave of absence for a period of time. And usually if there is long-term leave of absence, that's insured through one of these insurance companies under a long-term disability policy, and you need to file an application at the conclusion of the short-term disability with the long-term disability policy holder, like Liberty Mutual or Unum or some such other company that may be out there for your long-term disability benefits. And it's only up to the insurance company as to whether or not you will continue to get paid. Then, at some point, you have to then certify to come back to work. Your doctor has to give you a release saying, you're able to return to work. At some point, the company might be legally in its rights to be able to terminate you even though you're on a leave of absence. And even if, and this is a very surprising fact for a lot of people, even if your leave of absence is because of a work-related injury, the company may be able to say, I can't maintain your job open at this point, we have to fill your job. So once you're past a certain point, usually 12 months for FMLA, 6 months under some companies' policies, once you've crossed over that line, you'll probably get a notice saying, unless you can return to work by such and such a date, we're going to have to fill your position and terminate your employment. Probably legal for the most part, as long as they've waited long enough and even if it's a work-related injury, which comes as a surprise to people. So getting healthy and then negotiating your way back is a key to maintaining your job rights.